You're just the artist, and you just go forth and you become great, but you don't really transfer. You don't transfer those tools. We don't have that mentorship or that apprenticeship that we need to have, especially here in Newark, in the northeastern area, and even in the whole country. I think that's what we're changing. We're changing. We're going back to our indigenous belief systems where when you learn music, all the kids in the village, it was part of celebrations. It was part of what we did all the time. And that's what I see. It's like almost you brought that to Facebook, if you could, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
So we can expect a celebration. We can expect music every 2 weeks. It's not cut in the album, and I'm not saying that you're not doing that, but that's what we're supposed to be doing, and we're supposed to be incorporating the community when we do that music. We're supposed to be building other musicians. So a musician doesn't think that they're out here all alone, but they're also doing what you're doing. They're learning percussion. They're learning keys. They're learning horn. It's not like a one-dimensional thing. It's multi-dimensional. I didn't mean to take over, but when you
No. I was listening, man. It's good to hear another perspective because I didn't think about it that way. When we started out with the Be Haven idea, it was just simply, it was to start a group and just put out the ideas as a way of gaining traction, traction and attraction to the group.
Traction
to the group. So that was like the original idea, and then turn those ideas into a project, like an album or something like that.
Nice.
So that's actually the process we're involved in right now. We're actually just recently started like going through all the ideas and like, hey, which ones do we want to record onto a project and like write to? Because all of the songs that you've heard that are online with the group, those are all freestyles. Like it's all free, like lyrics.
Nice.
We be sitting there like, hey, what we gonna talk about today? My car broke down today. I want to talk about fixing things in life. All right, we're going to talk about that. And that's like, and that's what happens. So we just freestyle it, come up with like a little idea and roll with it. But it also helps with keeping us on point in terms of being able to create things on the spot. I also like the idea you said with the, what's it called? The community aspect. And I think that's a really,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
That's what you're doing. And I think, and this goes back to my point. I almost say in every interview, our culture, American culture, as great as it is, as wonderful as it is, it takes us so far away as artists. It takes us so far away from systems that were superior than the systems that are here and now. But because we have this filter on our eyes and on our mind, we don't see that. So it's almost like it's like we're backing into what we're supposed to be doing, and we've been doing years and years ago. And then when we start doing it with intention, and that's why I do these series, so artists can see what other artists are doing and how they're doing it, and we get more to that community, more to that mentorship, more to that productivity and the creativity creating a product or creating a service that makes our economics irrelevant of the system that purports that we can't live without. I didn't mean to get all that.
No.
It's still early. I had that strong coffee here.
No, I feel you. No, that's what's up. Like it's interesting because yesterday I was going to get my car washed, right? At this car wash up in Irvington, right? And I'm on my way going to Clinton Avenue, and I see Queen Moore standing outside, and she's like, I'm like, hey, what you doing, Queen? What you doing? She's like, I'm about to go paint over here. Bring your guitar. So I'm like, all right, I'll be back.
See.
So like,
see.
So what happened was I go wash my car. I don't have an acoustic guitar. I have electric right now. So I'll go to my mother's like, hey, can I borrow your acoustic guitar real quick? But she lives right down the street, so I go and borrow her guitar. And I go out there and I'm playing. She's painting on the ground on the concrete walkway, and then I'm playing guitar as she's painting. Right. So I start, just getting in the groove, and I start playing the guitar like a drum, like boom, it's like doom, like that, and I start playing that, and we're just grooving, And Queen was like, "Yo, that's gonna change the vibe of the whole place," because it was like across the street. Somebody was
Right.
a guy and a girl. They were like arguing, like. So she was like, "That guitar's gonna change the vibe." So I'm playing the guitar. Then all of a sudden, there's like these three people. They walking by, like start freestyling. Yo, start freestyling, and then right at the freestyle, then it's like this other random guy comes down the street. He's like, "Yo," he start going in like freestyling, and then this family, they come with their I think it was their 2 daughters, and they're like, "Oh, can we help paint?" So it's like you said, community. Like it literally brought out the community in that little area, and it was just crazy. Like I was looking, I was like, wow, and I haven't experienced that in that way in a while.
Once we begin to do that, that changes how we feel about ourselves. Because as well as I know, the art, when we do the art, whether we get a response back from people or not, it gives us more power. It energizes us to go forward and do more art. And then when other people see the art or see what we're doing, they want to be engaged.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and that leads me to this question I wanted to ask you: How does the social media react to you in terms of what you put out? So, how is that relationship with what you do in social media? Because social media has, these social media sites have a life. They have they respond a certain way depending on what you put in. So what has been your experience?
It varies. Most of it has been pretty good. And it's interesting. Most of the good is the music, the feeling that they get, the fact that someone is putting out what they're creating, like as it's going on, supposed to waiting 6 months to put something out,
EP's coming out. Tomorrow.
So, yeah, I know, right? So that's the, I think, the beauty of it. A lot of people look forward to actually the post. When I post a video, I love these, keep it coming, and that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling to have. The only negative that I get is dealing with when it's different. Like, and I mean different, like, for example, like,
chaos.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, what's up with that joint?
But it's like it's interesting because I think that my sound and who I am as an artist is for the new generation is not as much for
the new generation. I thought you was the new generation.
No, I mean, like, how can I put it? Now, I'm not saying I'm not the new generation. I am the new generation, but it's like, you have like the new and the old, and it's like this. When they come together, it's great, but when it's separate, it's like it always feels like this back and forth. Like, no, this is better than that, but this is better than that. And I'm right in the middle. That's the only way I can put it. I'm not talking about like, I'm like right in the middle, because like even when you hear my music, I'm playing an instrument, which is not necessarily a regular thing now for groups, right? It's usually like a DJ or have backing tracks or synthesizers, right. But I'm actually playing instruments. That's more old school. But the sound that I create with the music is more new school. So it's like a good in between. So the only thing like not so good comments is when it's like people on both sides of the spectrum, as opposed to in the middle.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So what is art to you?
Art is God manifested into physical form.
Okay, that's succinct enough.
I just came up with that.
I ain't messing with you. So how? What can you share with other artists that may listen to this channel to assist them in this journey, in this path, as an artist, not necessarily as a musician, but as an artist? What works for you? What is it that you can say, or you can with confidence and say, well, I suggest from my experience from my experiences, this is what you should do, or this is what you should add to, or this is how you should conduct yourself?
I would say the biggest thing for artists to do is, first of all, you got to be you. And
you got to say that again. Isn't a song, you gotta be you? Say that loud, say it clear for me.
You got to be you, because at the end of the day, you got to live with you. So I think that's first and foremost. I think another thing that artists should do is, how can I put it? You got me thinking now.
No, it's all right. I mean, I agree with the whole idea of that individuality.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, be you, and always remember you are enough.
You gotta say that loud. I'm gonna put the mic.
So, you got to make sure that you be yourself and remember that you are enough.
I love it. And we're getting in there. I mean, we don't have. I see artists and they don't have enough confidence. They don't wanna. You don't want to interview. You want to do this. You don't feel like you're ready. None of us are ready. We're not ready. We don't come ready. I'm not ready. When I started doing these interviews, I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
I was just reading an article about a young lady, I forget her name, that did canvases, and she did the work. She said I followed my gut. I followed my gut, and she did the work. So none of us are going to be ready. We're not talking about a final product. And I don't think that any artist, when you end up leaving this planet, that you have a final product. This is a process. So wherever you are, the thing that you want to be comfortable about is knowing that you're doing the best that you can do at that particular point. And you build off that. It's not about perfection. So, but what you said is right on. So peace. Thank you so much. Now, where can people find you?
You can find me anywhere and everywhere at Tamen Hade, Tamen Hade, Hade, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, website, TamenHade.com. And if you hit me up, I actually will respond to you. So I'm actually a real person. Hello. So yeah, Tamen Hade everything. And I'm actually working on an EP right now. It's gonna be called the Young Forever EP. It's gonna be fire.
The Young Forever
EP.
Oh yeah, you had the when you teach the Young Forever.
Yeah. That's the reason why I say stuff like that. It's like it's not like someone people see like, oh, I've seen this before. That's kind of like a little thing I've been putting out there. But the Young Forever EP, I'm just literally redoing the final touches to the project. So it's gonna be dope. It's dope.
Keep doing your thing, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Peace.
Peace.
We're out. That's a good job.